Here we are. All right, squeeze in. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Breakfast with Disaster. We are live every Tuesday at 10:10 a.m. With the same mission in mind. We're going to show you all the terrible things that can happen so you know how to avoid them. My name is Dan Bauer with ServPro of the Southtowns and ServPro of West Seneca Lancaster. This is Tyler Jordan. Tyler, you want to say hey?
Hey, everybody. How's it going today?
We are very excited to be here. It's been good morning, Lisa. You met Lisa the other day.
Morning, Lisa.
Yeah. Who else we got? Morning. Good morning, Diane. How's it going?
Morning, Diane.
It's been an exciting week here at ServPro. Tyler is doing his very first sales routes. Yesterday was his first day out there. What'd you think?
It was fun. It was a good time. Nobody was mean to me. So.
Nobody was mean. Everybody was very nice.
Everyone was very nice.
Morning, Nate. Yeah, it was interesting. It was the first time I've been on the road, actually, in a little while as well. We're probably going to, unfortunately, be cut short doing that because of the new mandates coming out. It just seems a little bit rude to be barging in on people, but we'll sort something out. We'll find a way to give you candy or whatever it is that we do. I'm going to start off right now with our new segment here, the weekly warning. And I think this is one actually that we've been talking about a lot here at the office. Tyler, do you know what an ice dam is?
I do. I've actually had a family member experience one. It's no good. Locking the ice up on the roof, leaking water into the house. No good.
Yes, it sucks. It happened a lot last year, so I'm making this our weekly warning: is don't let these ice dams form on your roofs. Apparently, we're gonna have like a mild winter. I've been told. I don't know how anybody knows that. The Farmer's Almanac or something. So maybe this won't be as big a deal. If you don't know what an ice dam is, it's exactly what it sounds like. And hopefully you can see this very complicated looking diagram. It's not... you don't need to know all this. This will not be on the test. But basically, you have snow collecting on your roof because it snows here. And you have heat in your house because you want it to be warm in there. And you want to be comfortable and cozy and all that good stuff. And if your insulation isn't quite set up in the right way, what's going to happen is that heat's going to rise, it's going to melt all that snow, and if it's super cold, that snow, instead of just running into your gutters as water and going away, it's going to freeze when it gets further down your roof and basically form a dam, an ice wall, so that further water cannot get out off of your roof. And the thing about water, which you learn pretty quick here at ServPro, is it's gotta go somewhere. It needs to go somewhere, and it can be pretty sneaky about it. So if it can't get through your gutters, if it can't drain off your roof, what's going to happen is it's going to back up, maybe get under your shingles, start tearing shingles off. It may even start leaking into your house, and you might not even realize it until your ceiling starts sagging, your walls start bulging, hopefully your home at the time. I know a lot of people suffered from this. They were snowbirds, and they came back to find that this had happened to them. It can be bad. This can be serious, like irreversible damage inside your house. It can tear off your gutters. It can tear up your shingles. It can be bad. The key to avoiding this, Nate, IICRC certified out there. Water goes to the point of least resistance, and sometimes that, believe it or not, is inside your house. So the best way to avoid an ice dam forming is this bad boy right here. This is a lot of insulation, but making sure that your attic, your roof, wherever the heat is rising, making sure that insulation is done in a proper way where that heat's not just escaping to that one point and melting all of that snow and then just letting it freeze further down the roof. In fact, I probably run into more issues where people have too much insulation, and that can lead to all sorts of nasty microbial growth especially. But this is really the main preventative. And if you can't, if that ice dam is already formed, obviously insulation is not going to help. What we usually tell people is call a roofer. They'll be able to get up there, knock down the ice dam, and assess any actual damage there has been to your roof. Usually people are calling us after there has been water damage. There are ways that you can kind of deal with this on your own. There are roof rakes. I know one person who uses a hatchet. Wouldn't necessarily recommend that because you can cause damage to your roof swinging an axe at it, but there are ways to deal with these. So if you have one forming, it's not, the end of the world. You can deal with it. That's your weekly warning, guys. because we've been talking about it a lot here. We're expecting to see a lot of issues with this, and I know a lot of people don't really know how to deal with it. Don't let those ice dams form. Make sure that, if you see one forming, you deal with it. Make sure that your insulation is right so that you can do your best to avoid it, and you really should be okay. I'm going to look at this picture instead. This is a picture that I enjoy more than the picture of insulation. Yes, it's a delicious,
Looks tasty.
deep fried turkey. And as you guys know, it's Thanksgiving on Thursday. And we are all probably thinking about dinner and not thinking about work, which is fun. I will not judge you for it. I will judge you, Tyler, for it.
Dang it, you saw me.
Deep fried turkey, I have every year. I'm not going to shame anyone for it. It is delicious. I usually have it on New Year's Day. This is what you cook it in. It's this big boy, like straight up and down fryer where you can fit an entire turkey in it. And I'm not here to bum anybody out or shame anyone, but I did want to tell you what the experts say about this, which unfortunately is that pretty unequivocally that you should not do it. The National Fire Protection Association, they have a stat on this. On Thanksgiving, there are usually about 1,600 home cooking fires, which is quite a bit, quite a spike. For obvious reasons, people are in their kitchens more, cooking stuff they don't know how to cook. But the major reason that these things get out of control is because people are trying to deep fry their turkeys. And I don't know if that's on the docket for you. But there are incidents like this one that the NFPA points out, and I got my point right. This one happened in Boston. It's a little covered up on my screen. 27 people unable to go home after this Thanksgiving fire. This was lit. Thank you, Tyler. This happened last year, and hopefully it does not happen again this year. But what happened is somebody in the suburbs of Boston deep frying a turkey. There's an accident, and this fire was so big that there's footage of it. The entire neighborhood was covered in smoke. There was debris everywhere, and 27 people ended up totally displaced, nowhere to go on Thanksgiving because of this one person with one turkey and one fryer. This is the fire chief talking about why you should never do this. In his words, people are amateurs. They do not know how to operate deep fryers. It's maybe the one time a year they fry a turkey. In fact, it probably is. It certainly is for me. I know that you're probably not going to change your Thanksgiving plans just because I said so. So I do have some tips for you if you do want to do this. And Tyler, you used to operate a fryer, right? You know that they are dangerous?
Absolutely. Actually, when I was in the military, they were so worried about us doing this at home that they had a whole demonstration. They put a turkey inside of the fryer, and of course they didn't dry or thaw the turkey just for extra effect, but they definitely showed us why it could be really, really devastating.
Yes. So, it takes us to tip number one. If you're going to do this, okay, I will move our little stupid little heads over so you can see these tips. No, we're still good.
Wrong way.
Number one, if you're going to do this, you have to make sure that turkey is totally thawed, completely thawed, and totally dried out. Any residual moisture that's going into that fryer can cause the oil to bubble. Tyler was telling me, you threw an ice cube in one?
You don't want to put an ice cube in a fryer. It's, get grease everywhere.
The water causes the oil to bubble and boil and overflow. And if one ice cube can do that, imagine an entire frozen turkey if it's not completely frozen. And that's probably the number one thing that causes these fires is people are probably a little drunk and impatient, and they slam a turkey into the fryer and hope for the best. If there's any sort of residual moisture, it will bubble and boil and cause some trouble for you. Number two, and this should be obvious, but a lot of people don't want to go outside in the cold, but you should be frying these things outdoors, at least 10 feet from your house. So that if there is an incident, it's not catching your curtains and your dog on fire, and which is a terrible thing to say, and I'm very sorry I said it, but it does happen. If you're going to do this, be brave, put on a coat, do it 10 feet from the house outside, and even if it's cold, even if the football game is on, which I know the Bills are playing, don't leave the turkey unattended. That number one cause, aside from just pure human error here, is leaving whatever you're cooking unattended. That's the number one cause of home cooking fires. Number three, handle with care. And this one, I wouldn't think that this would need to be said, but it does, because people, again, are probably drunk and impatient and they want their turkeys. that fryer gets really hot. And if you're going to try to grab it without proper protection, you're probably going to burn your hand. Or if you brush up against it, you're not paying attention, things like that. And it can be very easy to have an overreaction, tip it over, God forbid, spill, whatever's going to happen. We've all burned our hands on the stove. I grabbed a very hot cast iron pan just last night, so this is a very doable thing to do. But that sort of overreaction will cause potentially trouble for you. Finally, you should have a fire extinguisher near you if you're going to be doing this. And not any fire extinguisher, a dry powder fire extinguisher. And again, not a lot of people, you would think everybody knew this. Not in practice, in panic, it can be hard to know. You should not be putting out oil fires, grease fires, these sorts of fires a turkey fryer can cause with water. That's just going to cause all this hot oil to splash around and make things much, much worse. Get a dry power fire extinguisher. I bought a 2-pack on Amazon for like $4. Mm-hmm. Easy, just have one right next to you. And so if anything goes wrong, you can deal with it. And if you do deep fry turkey, please save some for me. And be safe this Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for you all. I'm very thankful to be here. I'm not going to get sappy on you, but I do want you to be safe this Thanksgiving. I'm about to go to Florida tomorrow, so I will not be here to help you. If anything goes wrong, Tyler will. We will send him in my stead. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Let's do the prize drawing. Let me bring up the wheel of names here.
Awesome. Let's see who wins.
We are up to, I believe, 97 people here, and that's purely because we ran out of mugs. We could easily be well over 100 right now and have some sort of 100 member celebration, but I've got some mugs on order. I'll be back. Let's roll.
Let's do it. Spin, spin, spin.
All right. I got a little freeze here. We got number 278. Who is 278? That is going to be Joe Arlotta. Okay, Joe. Manager Mechanical. I don't think Joe is watching. Kaylee. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kaylee. Joe, if you are watching, definitely leave a comment, because if you're not part of the Surf Pro Mug Club, you may not know this, but if we call your number, you win a prize, and if you're watching and we call your number, you win a double prize. And if you're not part of the Mug Club, I pinned a comment at the top of this. Comment with your favorite Thanksgiving side, and I will make sure that you get added. It's a lot of fun. You win a prize. You get to be part of this fun little community. We are going to call this one for today because we've got all sorts of things to figure out over here. But I want to say Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Eat up, have fun, and we'll see you on the last day of November. We'll see you on the 30th. Thanks, Beth.
Thanks.